Good morning, students. Welcome to our Bachelor of Education in Senior Primary exam-based presentation. This is the presentation that will cover April, May, August, and November examination. Pay attention as we are going through because a lot will be explained and it will help you when you are preparing for your examination. My name is Loide Ampolo. I'm your tutor for BES Mat32, that is Mathematics 6, and that is my contact number 081-2009-524. Or you can also reach me on my email loidemwetu@gmail.com. Welcome to our Mathematics 6 contact session. This presentation will cover general guidelines that I want you to keep in mind when you are preparing for your examination. And this your examination will be kind of similar to your exam assignment. So then when you are preparing for your assignment, have your assignment with you and just try to see chapters that were covered in the assignment, and also try to read all other branches on that chapter. The total marks for the assignment examination are both 130 marks. You will need to a minimum of 50% to pass this module. And then I want you to use your examination pad always when you're writing your assignments. And then use prescribed study guides or grade 12 textbooks like Prism Alive and Y is equal to MX plus C. And then do your assignment by yourself just to familiarize yourself with the questioning techniques, and also just to know what you are expected to do in the examination. The number of marks, you should number the questions according to the question paper, and then you should always skip a line after each question so that we know that you are doing now a different question, and then make sure that your final piece is just presentable. Let's move on. Mathematics is a very complex subject, so then we cannot do everything in this minute. Very limited time. Note that I cannot give attention to the whole content, so then if you have any question anywhere in your study, just feel free to contact me, whether it's WhatsApp or my email. It's fine, I can come to you. Then I'm very much urging you to use previous presentation that were done, and then because they will help you when you are doing your study. In case you have this topic that you don't understand, before you come to me, please go through, try to watch some of the videos or presentation that were done already. This is not an examination scope, just a direction, and use prescribed textbooks and study guides to prepare for the examination, as I mentioned earlier on. Then this chapter is made from function notation and linear programming. What I expect you in this chapter is to know the common notation for functions, and also you should know how to write inequalities on a number line and drawing inequality graphs from given situations. I find this quite difficult for some students, so if you have any question anywhere when it comes to functions and linear programming, do not sit with a problem. Contact me, then I can make a video for you with depending on your problem. Then I'll explain everything nicely to you and where to get it in the textbook, or a very which textbook has explained it, so that you can get that one as well. Then we have coordinate geometry. I expect you to know how to work out the distance between the 2 points, to find the midpoint of a line, and also to work with gradients, how to work out the gradients between, if you are given 2 points, you can either just points given like that or maybe in a graph. So I want you to know how to find the distance between the 2 points, how to find the midpoint of a line, and how to work out the gradients. We have geometry and angle properties. These are, how to calculate the sizes of angles in quadrilaterals. When we talk about quadrilaterals, it's any four-sided shape. I want you to know how to work with angles in polygons, how to work with angles in circles, especially angles in circles. You should know those properties. They are quite a lot, but they are once you master them, everything else will be fine. And then, but then if you are finding any difficulties at all, please feel free to contact me. We should also know how to to work with fine lines and rotational symmetry, how many lines of symmetry and how many rotational symmetry a shape has, and also the locus, how to construct locus from different presentations, instructions, directions. Then another one is measurements and measurements, perimeters of different shapes, areas of different shapes, volumes of different shapes, for those three-dimensional shapes, and also the surface areas of those shapes as well. So then when it comes to asking in the examination, I can ask any, whether it's a perimeter, area, or both, or everything. So then when you are studying, make sure that, especially this chapter requires you to know the formulas. If you don't know the formulas, it will be difficult for you to work out, especially areas or surface areas or volumes of the shapes. Know the formulas at heart and know how to convert from one unit to the other unit as well. The other one is trigonometry. This is, should know how to work with non-right angled triangles and non-right angled triangles. And then how to use the theorem of Pythagoras and how to use the sine, the cos, and the tan ratios, plus the cosine rules and the sine rules as well. So then they are all integrated under the trigonometry. Then statistics, we have frequency tables. Just to answer from tables, frequency tables, we have cumulative frequency curves. I find this some students don't know how to draw these curves yet, but I did a presentation on how to draw a cumulative frequency and also how to find the interquartile, the median, and the upper quartile ranges from those frequency table, the curves, how to come up with the frequency table, the cumulative frequency table, and so on. Just watch those previous videos, and how to find the mean, the mode, the median, and the range from the tables or from any other statistical information that you might be given, whether it will be group data or just discrete data. Then we have probabilities. You have to know how to work with these single and combined events. Single events is just these simple questions. We have 4 beads and red beads and 3 red beads and 4 white beads. If the bead is taken from at random, what is the probability of getting a red one? Those are single. And then combination one, we can have now a combination of the trials, the throwing a die and playing cards at the same time. So then you should know how to work with those when it comes to probability. And probability tree diagrams, it's very, very important. And some students find that you don't know really that much on how to work with tree diagrams. If you have any question at all, please ask me. Then when it comes to probability diagrams, I'm just having a simple that can help you. Trees are used to show the probability of outcomes when 2 or more trials take place following each other. Each branch indicates the possible outcome that exists. Moving along the same branch means multiply. So then you might find something like this, something like this. If you move along the same branch, then you have to multiply. If this was maybe 1/2 and maybe 1/2 here, then you multiply these 2 branches. Otherwise, from one branch to the other branch, we add. Maybe if you have this now, and then we have also this part, you have this and have this 1/2 here and 1/2. You multiply this, and then you add them together. Okay, so then when it comes to tree diagrams, it's quite tricky, especially when you are calculating the possibility outcomes. So that if you have any question, any problem on the tree diagrams, just contact me, then I'll explain more on you. We need to be aware of whether or not the objects will be replaced or not. Some question you ask with replacement or without replacement. If it's not being replaced, then the numbers will decrease. The total number of things will decrease. So then, but then in most cases we don't decrease them anymore. We just end up having the same number. And the sample space still has a probability of 1. If this is 1/2 here, obviously this one will be 1/2, because 1/2 plus 1/2 will give us 1. Also this part, before just to make sure that your branches are correct, is make sure that the two branches are having the same, the total here should be 1. If it's not 1, that means somewhere, somehow you did a mistake. Then the next one is vectors. Vectors is also one thing that you need to know. You need to know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide by a scalar, and also work with vectors in different shapes. We have a triangle rule, we have parallelogram rules. So then when you are revising, just try to read and study any other part connected to vectors. Okay. Then vectors geometry, as I said, we have triangle rules and the parallelogram rules, and we have so many examples under this. So then if you have any question how to work with triangle rules and parallelogram rules, just contact me, then we will do it together. Then also we have transformation. I find this where this part used to have so many marks that you can get all of them. You should know how to do and describe transformation, right? Drawing transformation, drawing a certain refraction, drawing a certain enlargement, drawing a certain rotation, and how to describe them. You are given different shapes, then how can you describe those shapes now? And then, especially when it comes to describing, you can get 3 marks just under a description. And then if anything else, we do not do it correct, then it will be a minus on you there. Okay, in conclusion, read the questions very carefully. Some questions, some of the questions you don't need to think too much, but then in others you need to think also. So then read and just understand what is being asked there. Your answer must be complete and look at the marks allocated. If the marks is 4, that means some quite long calculations might be done, but then we know we have some shortcuts. It doesn't matter, as long as your final answer is correct, then you get that mark over your shortcut. It doesn't matter. Okay, but then you just need to answer the question. Don't leave your question half answered. Answer the whole of it, and then write as neatly as you can, especially when it comes to numbers. I don't want your 2 to look like a 5, or your 3 to look like a 5, or your 6 to look like a letter A, I don't know. So then make sure that your letters and numbers are visible enough. So I wish you all the best for your examination. Any question at all, just ask. Thank you very much.